Well, one of the Teals, North Sydney Independent MP Kylea Tink, claimed earlier this month that she felt unsafe in Parliament House after a rowdy question time. She claimed that one Coalition MP had been very aggressive towards her.
Yesterday's behaviour left me feeling like my senses had been assaulted by what I experienced as excessive and unconstructive noise and aggression being thrown around the room. Quite frankly, I did not feel safe.
Tensions in the chamber were high because the Teals had voted with Labor and the Greens to defeat a motion of dissent against the Speaker's ruling that Catherine King had given a relevant answer. Tink claimed in the Australian newspaper that the behaviour in Parliament left her feeling like her senses had been assaulted by what she described as a hostile tone and aggressive body language. She said to the best of her recollection that Coalition MP had said to her, "Well, where were you today? You want clear answers. Well, that was your chance. Where were you?" ABC Radio National Breakfast presenter Patricia Karvelis then asked Peter Dutton about whether he had any concerns.
Independent MP Kylea Tink says she's felt unsafe this week, claiming a member of the opposition made hostile and aggressive comments to her. Are you aware of who it is?
Yes, I am, and I don't have any concerns in relation to the tone or what was said. Believe me, Patricia, there are some robust discussions in that Parliament. The chamber as it operates now, I can promise you, is much more civilised than how it operated in Keating's day.
All right. Let's bring back in Paul Murray and Liz Storer. Look, Jared Henderson wrote about this in his weekend column. He wrote an excellent piece where he spoke about the hypocrisy and double standards of the Teals, that they want accountability and transparency, or that's what they say, but then when it comes to holding the government to account, to holding Catherine King to account, they voted with the Greens and Labor.
Which is very predictable. But they also got another double standard, and that is these women always say they're strong, independent women. We just want to be treated the same as men. We want equality. And then they scream to be treated differently. It's question and answer time. Everybody knows there's argy-bargy. I mean, the blokes used to absolutely... Remember when Paul Keating literally roared at the leader of the opposition at the time, "I want to do you slowly," when he was asked, "Why won't you go to an early election?" That kind of back and forth. I watched that recently and the entire chamber laughed because everyone had a sense of humour back then. And I just find these kinds of women embarrassing when they can't own up their own behaviour, etc. and so on. She's been pulled up for something, so she should be. It's a valid point, but she can't hack the heat. Just stay out of politics.
But also it's so performative, right? I mean, as Bronwyn Bishop has told us, the distance between the Prime Minister and the opposition leader, the two dispatch boxes, is the length of a sword because it's a metaphorical place to duel. It's obviously combat without violence. It's an adversarial system. That's how politics is designed. Now, does that mean you scream all day, every day? No. But when Catherine King 6 different times answers a question about why she made a government decision, the opposition's got every reason to get up them. What I find this as being about as subtle as I am at times, this is just about the narrative of the Liberal Party has the problem with women. If anyone, and we saw this rubbish when I think it was Karen Andrews a couple of weeks ago, somebody was breathing down my neck. Say who. Like, say who, say when, say how, say then, all right? But the rest of it just leaves itself open to this sort of opaque smoke. And interestingly, again, keep an eye on this. Have a look at the gender splits right now and about how they're voting. It seems that a particular demographic, 35 to 54-year-old women, who was the big drive behind the Teals, there's been a drop in the support for Labor, a drop in the support for Teals, and a slight move back to the Libs. So, geez, is it really a problem if the only time these people seem to benefit from it is if they keep talking about the problem?
And Liz, as Jared pointed out in his column, where are they standing up to the allegations against the mean girls, so-called mean girls? Where are they standing up to the other allegations of bullying?
Yeah, well, they're not, and they never do. And when it's a coalition or any kind of conservative woman in Parliament who's seen to cop it, Nicole Flint is a perfect example, no one stands up for her. They don't come to her rescue. Granted, the Teals weren't around back then, but those types who claim that's one of the bastions of their beliefs, they never come to the party.
Liz Storer, Paul Murray, we'll see you again tonight.